talks the same off the air as he does on the
Dan.
air. Yes, sir.
I got 1942 and I got some Costa Dragones. Which one you think?
1942. That's the smoothest one, isn't it? 1942.
Yeah, babe, but I love this Costa Dragones.
All right, let's do that then. Let's do that.
Costa Dragones it is, brother.
You really manipulated the situation. You asked me pick one, I picked it, and you're like, I really like the other one though. So
just drink that one.
No, hey, listen, I like 40. Listen, I got 3 types of tequilas: Costa Dragones, 42, and Cazo Azul. They all fantastic. I love tequila.
I would recommend to you a mezcal. Do you drink mezcals at all? Ilegal Joven is a mezcal.
Yeah, they don't do much for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, how's your fat ass daddy doing?
He's less fat ass. Let's get my daddy. Is my daddy out there somewhere so that I would love for you should hammer him, Charles. My father's gotten older, and so he's less mean than he used to be. He doesn't give a lot of double middle fingers.
I think Poppy's answering the phones right now, so if Charles wants to see Poppy, have a conversation, I will gladly give up this seat. I will go answer the phones.
No, my father left already. We didn't use him, and he left in a diva huff. And also, he said to go fuck yourself, Charles, just to be clear on things, because he doesn't like you any more than you like him.
Hey, let me just tell you this. Your mother is a saint. That's the only reason I'm not killing that motherfucker when I see her. That's the only reason. I don't want her to be upset or sad. Hey, it's 2 people in the world I'll kill on sight. Your dad and Skip Bayless. They're the only 2 people.
No, that's not true. That's not true. The agent who stole money from you.
Oh, yeah, we can't mention it. Hey, we don't want to mention his name. He stole all my money. Oh, that'd be Lance Lushnick.
Lush.
Hey, Lance Lushnick stole all my money. Hey, Dan. I was in a worst case scenario. I was black and broke after 4 years in the NBA because he stole all my damn money. hey, Stu. Yeah. That's like the worst case scenario in America, being black and being poor. I played the NBA for 4 years, at that time I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and after 4 years I was broke.
You figured
Charles just started drinking, by the way.
You just figured it out, though, Charles. You figured out life.
Hey, Stu.
Yeah.
No fucking chance. Hey, listen, we off today. Only thing I got to do is watch the Mavs against the Clippers. We started day drinking around 3 o'clock today. So, hey, listen, America.
All right, here we go. We're going to get this is the way to get
hey,
Charles Barkley.
Hey, Dan, the most important thing, I just can't say no stupid shit while I get fired. I just got to get fired. They still have to pay me. That's the most important thing.
Okay, let's see if we can get you drunk but not fired. I want to walk that line.
Drinking since 3.
That's okay. Drunk but not. Man, it takes a minute. Charles has been drinking for a long ass time.
Hey, I just want to cross the line enough to get fired, but they still have to pay me these last 3 years.
All right, let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. That's the Stugatz move right there. Stugatz is
Very
working
familiar.
on that as well.
Me too, Chuck.
He's sipping alcohol.
It's Amin El Hassan. He's been drunk since 3 o'clock. So, Charles, I want to know. I felt like you got Anthony Davis injured because you called him street clothes, and then he was out there and he shouldn't have been out there because you called him street clothes. I feel like that was your fault.
No, it wasn't my fault. That was the doctor's fault. He should never have been out there. I mean, seriously, you saw first of all, if they saw him warm up and cleared him to warm up, I mean, to start that game, they got the worst doctors in the world out there. They got a bunch of Dr. Kevorkians out there. He should have never been in the game. Listen, it's so funny how people go crazy. Let me take my glasses off, man. I mean, it ain't like I'm looking at no good-looking people. You know what? Listen, I'm a big Anthony Davis fan, always have been and will be. But, Dan, you know what, man? We're going to make fun of people on TNT. I mean, that's just the way this thing is. I hope he's not offended. But you know what? I'm hoping this is a wake-up call for him to – he got to get it he got to get the right trainer and get him – because, Dan, when you – listen, I have been a great NBA player. From 22 to 32, you should be like bulletproof. Like nothing can hurt you. You don't start having injuries until you get older and the wear and tear starts taking its toll. But he's never been healthy. So that tells me, number one, he's not working on his body. Listen, and the way they paying these guys today, I work on my body. Oh, man, I just got a sweet text from your mom. But what a saint. What a saint. First of all, I can't believe she lived with your dad. I wouldn't want to talk to him. I'd be watching your radio show, too. Listen, her choice were watch you tonight or talk to old fat dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go with plan B. I'm going to watch my favorite son.
Charles, I don't like what is happening here in the relationship between you and my father. It's getting worse over the years. It's getting more and more poisonous, and I don't think it's healthy for either one of you.
Well, it's not going to be healthy for him if we damn meet somewhere. I'm sure about that.
I don't understand why you would beat up a 78-year-old man, Charles. Like, I don't understand that. What is the great pride and victory in that?
It's just self-satisfaction. Slow down,
that's
tequila.
Hey,
satisfaction.
Hey, I got to be really careful tonight on the words I use, because, man, it might not come out correctly.
I want to keep him here for the rest of the night, just sitting there drinking, a drunker and drunker with Charles Barkley. Tell us what it is that's going to happen tonight when you look at Dallas and the Clippers. Are we going to be able to laugh at the Clippers tonight? Is that whole thing going to end for the Clippers tonight and Kawhi's going to leave there?
That's a great question. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about New York or Miami. But, man, this would be a serious – I thought there was no way they could lose this series after they won both games in Dallas. I mean, I was totally shocked. I mean, I actually made a prediction on our show. I'm like, I don't think the Mavs going to win another game. But to come out there and choke it up, and they fans, this dude named Clipper Darrell, he's texting the show and tweeting the show because I made a statement in the middle of the season. I said, hey, I've been poor, I've been rich, I've been skinny, I've been fat, and one thing all those parts of my life had in common: the Clippers suck. Hey, they've been with me this whole journey, Dan. And then they came at me. I said, hey, I made my point about the Clippers, and I fell for the banana in the tailpipe when they won those last two games in Dallas. I'm like, oh, man, the Clippers might be for real. And they go home and choke it away. So I think Dallas is going to win tonight. I do. And listen, if Kawhi leaves there, Dan, they'll be like your Miami Heat. Since LeBron left, I ain't never going to see you again.
They were in the finals.
I'm never going to Miami again.
Last year, Charles.
I'm never going to Cleveland again. I'm never going to Houston again. I mean, because my whole basketball existence is dictated by how good your basketball team is. So, Dan, as much as I love you, I might not ever see you again because y'all are mediocre.
Charles, they were in the finals 6 months ago.
Yeah, listen, that bubble basketball, it was a bunch of bubble gangsters. That don't count.
So
bubble gangsters don't count.
So LeBron didn't win a title.
I'm never going to say a thing about LeBron. He's a great player and a great dude. But listen, I'm not counting the bubbles. Let's stop it.
Charles, is he done winning championships, LeBron?
Well, I think it depends on Anthony Davis. I mean, Stu, you think about this. Last year in the bubble, we were talking, LeBron's old. And listen, everybody gets old. And if Anthony Davis got to figure out his body. But listen, nobody gets to play forever. Father Time takes its toll on everybody. And the thing that's funny, I told these guys a month ago, I says, this notion that these two guys who are LeBron's an all-time great, AD's a talented player, the notion they're just going to show up and play basketball and everything going to be good, I said, that's not going to happen. The only way you get good at basketball and stay in shape to play basketball is play basketball. Those guys miss way too much time. Because, everybody went crazy when I said this. I said, hey, listen, I don't like this debate. But if LeBron can win the championship this year, I'm open to the debate about him against Michael. But as I said, it's not going to happen. Those guys ain't going to just show up in the NBA and everything be good.
When you look at what is happening in the league, Charles, and you see the evolution of ratings dropping and people linking the opinions of black players to the ratings decline and how strong and firm and politically active, racially active the league is at the height of some of the things happening in America, do you think those two things are associated? Do you believe that the ratings decline, even though ratings are declining all over the place because of streaming and everything else, do you think that the ratings decline is tied to the black player in the NBA being too vocally black?
Yes. I think that people watch sports, Dan, to get away from reality. That's what they do. Like, I don't care how bad your life sucks. When your team is doing good, you in a good mood, you proud, your city's on fire, and it's a good thing. But if you turn on your television every time and guys who are making 30, 40, $50 million are telling you stuff, you're like, and also I think you have to realize something, Dan, all these people have lost their jobs. They don't lost their businesses. I mean, this is a unique situation. Man, I feel, first of all, we lost some loved ones. I mean, think about it. You got all your relatives dying. You lost your job. Your badass kid has been at home with you every day. I think it was so funny during the pandemic. I was playing golf with my friends. They're like, yo, man, I think something wrong with my kids. They're crazy as hell. So they have to spend every single day with those kids. And I think that, listen, I think the problem with the NBA, and I've said this publicly, and I just said now, you have to realize, Dan, I want you to be an ally of mine on this racial stuff. I don't want to alienate you. I want you to be an ally. I think a lot of times these guys, they're alienating the fans and people, not just fans. Like, it's like, I want all this stuff that's been fucked up for 400 years. I want it fixed tomorrow. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And so I use this analogy all the time. I say, yo, man, anybody want to help black people or Hispanics, please help me. I'm not going to be yelling at you because you had nothing to do with this stuff that was set up 400 years ago. I'm not going to sit around and yell at you about these damn Confederate statues. That's a waste of my energy. So if anybody want to help me help black people, I'm all in. Anybody want to help me help Hispanics, I'm all in. But I'm not going to yell at you, Dan. I'm not going to yell at you, Stu or Mike, because this shit started 400 years ago. So, and it's not going to be fixed. Well, it hadn't been fixed. I mean, you look at now, think about it. I told, like, all these guys are running around pumping themselves on the chest and telling about, man, we have made a difference. You know what the politicians been doing? Changing the election laws. They're like, yeah, we can't have this shit. Let's change the laws. But we've been running around pumping our chest and like, well, all this stuff we did in the bubble and all our social activism, I said, yo, man, we need to take a step back and say, hey, listen, stuff that happened in history is awful, 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 awful. Can you help me make it better? That to me is a better way to go about it than like, nah, I want all this shit changed tomorrow. I want all these statues taken down, because they're like, wait, hey, I had nothing to do with that. So I think the NBA, I think their heart is in the right place. I think the players' heart is in the right place. But the big thing they're missing, Dan, everybody here now had nothing to do with the shit that was set up hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And we're yelling and screaming at them like, hey, I need you to listen to me. I want your help. To me, that's a better way to go about it than yelling and screaming at people. And I think the NBA has kind of lost that. They're like, no, we're just gonna beat you over the head. Like, a normal person gonna be like, no, I don't want to beat over the head. I had nothing to do with that shit that happened hundreds of years ago.
How do you feel about the Nets?
I don't like the Nets at all. I don't like the way, Dan, I'm not a big believer in the super teams because guys like yourself being an asshole, you get on TV and tell me I suck and I didn't win the championship. You tell Karl Malone that and Patrick Ewing. If I'd have known y'all were going to get on TV and tell me this shit like 20-some years later, I'd have called Michael and Patrick and said, hey, guys, we probably need to get together because guys going to get on TV and tell me my life sucks because I didn't win the championship. And now you got the guys that are like, listen, I did my best. That's all I could do. Me and Carl, and we played against the GOAT, in my opinion, Michael. I sleep good at night. I did the best I could. Patrick gave Michael all he could handle. Karl Malone, all he could handle. But now you got guys like, well, you guys all suck because y'all didn't win the championship. If I'd have known the shit was going to turn out like this, like I always tell people, the movie, one of my favorite, I know George Clooney a little bit and Mark Wahlberg. Every time I watch The Perfect Storm, I'm like, oh, please survive, but they drown every time. If I'd have known I was gonna fucking drown every time, I would have said, I would have been calling them other guys, yo, man, we need to get together. Because these guys on TV gonna be killing us.
But you heard Lillard. You heard he sounds defeated now. Like and nobody gets the credit he got for losing. He was losing.
Well, because you guys gonna tell him he suck like old punk ass Skip Bayless. I saw that they were something my friends were telling me like why? Because I went to Skip Bayless last night. He was just killing Dame Leonard, who's a great, great player. And he's like, because listen, I always tell people my favorite bullshit line ever is, well, I don't watch TV or read the newspaper. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Every jock has always said that. I don't read the newspaper, watch television. Whatever the fuck else are you doing? You're not watching fucking soap operas and shit. I mean, come on. So, listen, so everybody feels the pressure. Listen, that's why LeBron left Cleveland the first time. That's why Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City because first of all, now you got social media. So if you got any of that, which I don't have, you're like, oh, you suck as a basketball player because you haven't won the championship. And LeBron's one of the best to ever do it. So he went to Miami, and then ever since then, the guy's like, hey, man, these guys are going to kill me on TV and radio if I don't win the championship. So I'm joining the other stars. And it's really, to me, in fairness, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because what happens is you just ruin cities. Like, I'm never going to OKC again. I'm never going to Toronto again, which is my favorite city in the world. When Kawhi left there, I'm like, yeah, I'm never going there again. And when LeBron left Cleveland, I'm never going there again. And Dan, as much as I love you, y'all not even close. I mean, last year was an anomaly, but y'all not even close to winning the championship. So I'm probably never going to see you again.
Mike, get on here. Don't just shake your head sourly in the shadows. Tell Barkley what you think and tell him with some passion, and don't be afraid. Tell him what you think.
Well, outside of it being lazy analysis, I think fans are usually driving this narrative, Charles, because, well, if I wasn't there, then it doesn't count because my voice matters. It's a lot easier to say that, well, it doesn't count rather than we lost in 5 because that team was better. And moreover, this year is actually the fraudulent season, not last year, because that was an antiseptic environment when athletes are playing athletes, no travel, well rested. The fact that the fans aren't there, forget that. I got great sightlines. I got to see the best shooters in the world shooting in perfect sightlines. This year's the fraud because the virus actually impacted games. A lot of people were out. Jimmy Butler was gone for a month. All right, so let's use the Heat as a case study. Jimmy Butler was gone. You had traveled. Yeah, it was 72 games, but it was a truncated schedule. You had so many things actually affecting the outcome this year. This year is the fraud season, not last year.
Everybody's hurt too, Charles. Everybody.
Well, listen, last year, to me, part of the journey is going on the road, winning a big game. That's part of the journey to see how you handle people talking about your mom and things like that. That's part of it. The travel. Listen, as you saw, think about this. Have you been watching these games? Having fans is the greatest thing ever. Like, I hope the players, number one, I hope the fans appreciate the players, but I hope the players appreciate the fans. Man, listen, think about this, Mike. Have you heard those fans in New York? And their team ain't no good.
All right. Well, those fans really helped them win one game in the playoff series.
Hold on. Think about this. The Brooklyn Nets got 3 of the best players. It's like a mausoleum in that place. When you listen to a game in New York, and we had game 1 and game 2, I'm like, damn, I want to play tonight. I want to play tonight. There's nothing like it. And even though, and listen, the Knicks had a terrific season. It was a perfect example of going out, working hard every night, how many games you can win, which, listen, if you go, and I tell any person this, if you work hard in life, you're going to have success. But then when they got in the playoff and they have to have some real talent, they're like, no, they're going to get beat 4-1. So I love the fans being there. It was awesome. And listen, in the bubble last year, Eric's supposed to just outcoach those other dudes. Miami had 0 chance against the Lakers, 0. But Spoelstra, who's a terrific coach, they had a game plan. But in fairness to Milwaukee, they're like, yeah, we're not that good. They went out and got them 3 guys that are going to make a difference. Now, they might lose because what they did in Brooklyn is so unique, teaming up. But I'm picking Milwaukee because they went out and got them 3 dudes who like, yeah, we're not taking no shit. We're ready for y'all. And so I'm excited. I can't wait for the game tomorrow night.
Charles, good catching up with you. Thank you, as always, for making time for us. I know that your life's a big party, and you're going to go get back to it. So thank you for making the time tonight to be a part.
Wait, I'm done?
Yeah.
I want to keep talking to you, too. Do you want to just hang out for a while? We've got to go to –
You can come back in a little bit.
No, I'm not fucking coming back. I'm going out and drink and watch the Clippers-Mavs game. Hey, Dan, it's Stewie. Hey, man, listen, first of all, I'm not a loser. I just want to make that shit clear because only losers are sitting home on a Friday night. Listen, nobody sits at home on a Friday night except losers. But I'm sitting at home on a Friday night because I got a lot of love and respect for you guys. If I can ever do anything for you guys in the future, you know, Dan, even before I got to know you, I told you, I said, man, I like you. And I don't like many reporters because I think our job is to be fair and honest. And when I'm watching TV now, TV is the most powerful thing in the world. People believe like, oh, a dude said it on television, it must be true. And one thing I've always admired about you, Dan, I said, hey, I know Dan, when we started on, I said, oh, Dan ain't gonna just say something for dramatic effect. Even if you disagree, and listen, people can disagree with me, but I'm never gonna get on TV and say something for dramatic effect. So I want to thank you guys. I can't wait to continue our relationship. But listen, I'm going to go get my drink on and watch. First thing I'm doing when I hang up the phone, I'm going to call my bookie and bet on the Mavs. But
Better
after
hurry.
that, I'm going to go out and watch the game. And then tomorrow, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, woo!
How much you betting? How much you putting on the Mavs?
5,000.
All right, $5,000 on the Mavs. Charles has said it. Buddy, good talking to you. Thank you for drinking tequila with us. Always good seeing your smiling face.
All right, man. Hey, listen, give your mom a big hug, because she is the sweetest lady ever. And your dad, just punch him in his damn head as hard as you can.
Okay, I think that would not